Members are correctly asking what is the union position on the Lansdowne Road Agreement, or LRA. Well, our executive met at the beginning of this month to consider the outcome of those talks in Lansdowne Road over a 2-week period at the end of May. They were asking how do we get to that agreement given the stance we took very clearly for restoration of all pay and conditions and an end to productivity demands. Well, we held an online survey back in October and we surveyed over 3,500 members about their priorities for what they wanted as we drive home a campaign of restoration. And the priorities were very clear, and they set out in the order of 1 to 4 along the lines of restoring pay in the first instance through a rollback of the pension levy, through restoring pay that was cut under the pay cut in 2009-2010, changes in USC which can only be achieved through budgetary change by government, and then in fourth place the removal of the additional hours, dealing with the cut in overtime rates and restoring the day and a half in flexi. All of the unions came to the view that money on the table, no member in the country would thank us for walking out and not looking for a deal that would be in their interests. The CPSU had a very clear mandate. We were looking for a flat rate increase to ensure that whatever money was on the table, that it would be dispersed to those at the bottom of the pay scale rather than those at the top. For 30 years we've sought an increase in flat rate terms, and that's what has been secured in this agreement for the first time ever. In 2016, €1,000 across the 12-month period is paid to people through a rollback of the pension levy, which clearly favours those at the lower end over those at the very top end. And in 2017, it's the same. €1,000 is paid in a pay increase to those members under 65,000. It's the same €1,000 across the 12 months for those at the bottom as it is for those at the top. And again, that clearly favours people in the lower pay brackets. For the CPSU, that is a victory. Yes, the money is very disappointing from our perspective. It certainly is not the full pay restoration and pension levy restoration we had hoped for and expected. But it is an increase that favours lower paid workers over those on higher bands. The details of the pay award and all the other changes in the Lansdowne Road Agreement are set out on the webpage and in circulars submitted to the branches for circulation. What we're asking the members to do now is to look at this agreement and to realise that it's not perfect. It's a long way from what we want. But for the first time we have achieved something we've always sought, a prioritisation of lower paid workers over those at the top. The members now have to decide, do we accept this agreement or do we decide to challenge government primarily around the areas of the additional hours and around the envelope of money put on the table by government? Can we as a trade union movement make this government put more money on the table, and can we get them to roll back on the hours? That's the debate which has to be had in the branches, and our executive has asked you as members and as branch organisers to go out and meet and discuss with head office what is in the agreement, what's not in the agreement, and what might or might not be achieved by rejection or acceptance. It's a simple debate that must be had across the country. We're asking the branches to meet, and we will meet again as an executive in the first week of July to decide what recommendation we will put to the members in a ballot. That ballot will be held towards the end of the summer, the end of August and early September, in order that we can mandate our representatives going to the Public Services Committee of Congress in September to vote on this agreement. Colleagues, this is an important debate, a debate that has to be had in this union. It will be difficult for all of us, but we have to face up to the challenge and make the right decision. That decision will be made by the executive, as I say, on the 1st of July in terms of a recommendation. But really it's you, the members, who will make the ultimate decision in the ballot. Take this opportunity to debate this agreement now.